everyone, welcome back to another episode of DotsTalks, where we spotlight the brilliant minds behind the code, the hustle, and the game-changing ideas. I'm your host, Diya Chandrani, and today we are diving into something that's been making waves in the digital world, Drupal CMS. And to break it all down, we have one of our brilliant minds from Dotsquares, Kamlesh. Welcome to the talks.
Thank you, Diya, and hi everyone out there. It's a privilege to be here to advocate one of the best open source solution that is driven by the community, Drupal. So thank you for inviting me and pleased to be here.
So let's start from the top. As we know, Dotsquares has become a pretty big player in the Drupal ecosystem. What's our current standing in the Drupal world?
Well, Diya, very proudly, I can say that in very short span of time, Dotsquares has paved and proved its excellence in Drupal. We are not only the silver partner of Drupal at this moment, but we are progressing towards the gold partnership as well. We are working on the contribution to make sure that by end of Q2, we would be able to achieve the gold certification from Drupal. Apart from that, we have been working very hard in the community code contribution. We have onboarded few wonderful clients like Solmer Village, Samuel & Sons, Zaid University, Esker, to name few of them. We are also working on the community. We have approximately 130 active members on the community and 20 plus contributors on the community. We have developed 30 plus modules. We have 50 plus published papers that are accredited. We have approximately 7 themes that is readily available for the people to use out there in Drupal community. And yeah, I mean, there are lots of things that is going on in Drupal at this moment, and seeing the progress that we are at this moment in such a short span, I think that the future for Drupal and Dotsquares together is very strong, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, that sounds great. Now here's something I heard people ask a lot. What's the deal with Drupal and Drupal CMS? Hasn't Drupal always been a CMS? Or why call this version Drupal CMS? It's a branding thing.
That's a great question, Diya. To be honest, a lot of people are confused in this entire scenario, particularly after the launch of Drupal CMS 1.0 in January 15th. Basically, look, Drupal is a mix of everything. Drupal, when we say Drupal, it's a complete open source project where you have Drupal CMS, where you have modules, where you have contributors, where you have APIs, everything. So Drupal is a package of everything. Now, what did Drupal do? They just built a new era technology wherein if you just want to use a CMS platform and you don't want any other customizations or much more customizations, then you can use a new product which they have called Drupal CMS. It's very easy to use. You don't need a lot of technical expertise to use it, number one. Number two, it's a very basic CMS that could be used by any individual company or small to medium level companies. So the basic difference between Drupal and Drupal CMS is that Drupal is combination of entire thing. The CMS, the framework, the APIs, modules, everything. While Drupal CMS is a pre-built with some predefined modules already enabled to make sure that a simple website can be easily developed. That's a basic difference between both of these.
Drupal's being seen as an enterprise tool only. Why do you think that is?
Well, I totally agree with you, Diya. Drupal has earned this reputation of being enterprise-only solutions. Reason being, the capabilities of Drupal and the enablement in Drupal, like its power, its flexibility, its scalability options, those require a tremendous maintenance as well as initial development cost. And it's very much tough, I would say, for a small organization to bear that cost. So initially, if you see the top Fortune 500 companies, the bigger universities, the enterprise level business houses, they prefer going to Drupal to make sure that their solution is technically strong, architecturally they are customizable, they are flexible solution along with the secured solution. So this is the reason enterprise prefer Drupal. However, because of its budget, which is not very much affordable by any small business houses, Drupal has not yet been able to put its feet into that segment of the market. This is the reason there is a myth that Drupal is an enterprise-only solution.
That sounds great. As you said, Drupal is an enterprise solution. So could you please briefly explain or provide an example that Dotsquares have worked on?
Well, we are very fortunate that we started Drupal with the enterprise customers itself. So I think we are one of those fortunate companies who had solutions already ready for them, and it was easy for us to pitch. I mean, I can name a lot of them, but I'd like to share a few examples, and we could take those as case study how we onboarded the client, how did we make them understand why Drupal is required for them, and then what did we do for them. So I'll start with our first enterprise client. They're called Solmer Villas. Basically, they are one of the biggest villa leasing company in UK and in most of the parts of Europe. When they came to us, they already were on Drupal. Their solution was developed on Drupal, but that was on the deprecated version of Drupal. They were not upgraded for last 2 years, I would say. So it was very tough for them to manage the website, and it was tough for us to enhance the website's feature. So we walked them through the entire process of upgrading Drupal. We made the project plan, we upgraded the Drupal, and currently they are very happy. They are on the latest version of Drupal, which is Drupal 11. And I mean, we have been working with them for last 3 years, and I believe there are 300 more years to go with them together. Second was one of the manufacturing unit based in North America. They are called Samuel and Sons. I believe they are approximately 100-year plus old company. And when they came to us, they were on a .NET based traditional CMS system. I would not like to name the system because I don't want to say that from where to where did we migrate, but that was a .NET based traditional CMS system. And they came to us because the cost or the licensing cost for that system was super expensive, and they wanted to reduce their licensing cost. So the first thing that came into our, the solution team's mind was Drupal, because it's free, of course. It's open source. The only expenses that you are going to bear is the development cost, and then a very minimalistic maintenance cost, which is, I believe, 1/3 of what they were paying at this moment. So we pitched them Drupal. We gave them the pros and cons of Drupal. We made them understand why most of the enterprise clients use Drupal. And the best part was they wanted 20 of their different websites to be managed from a single platform. So basically, we worked on multilingual plus multi-site concept on this. So we have user level access, we have site level access, and then we have few VPN level access in that entire project. It was a wonderful project. The clients are very happy. The project is delivered. We are still working with the clients. They have dedicatedly hired a team in Dotsquares to manage their website. And again, a wonderful relation with the client, and we hope this to continue. And one of the recent wins that I would like to especially mention here is Zayed University. Dotsquares, basically the work of Drupal of Dotsquares in Middle East region was like we could say zero. We did not have anything in Middle East. So onboarding a client like Zayed University, one of the reputed universities and government university of Saudi UAE, my bad, was something that the entire management and entire Dotsquares were very much focused on. We recently onboarded them. Again, kudos to Drupal. It was all Drupal. Just because of Drupal, we were able to onboard a client like Zayed. So yes, these are few examples that I would discuss.
Okay, let's bring AI into the chat because of course, everyone's talking about it. How are features like automated workflows and smarter analytics in Drupal CMS helping small businesses owners?
Look, when someone asks me what is common between AI and Drupal, I always tell them that they are teammates. They always work together. They always go side by side. In the upcoming era of AI, I think there could not be a solution better than Drupal to integrate it into your business and to automate the things. Now let's assume of a small business owner, like maybe a 1 or 2 person run company. The owner himself is everything. He is the sales, he is the marketing, he is the digital guy, he is the content guy, everything. And we develop a website for him in Drupal, and we automate his entire workflow. So he doesn't need to go into and log in every day for email marketing. He doesn't need to go into and post blogs on a daily basis. He doesn't need to go into and check his email inquiries on a daily basis. Those everything could be automated using models of the AI. How easy will it be for him? I mean, it's like the task of 3 to 4% in such a crucial time when he had just started the business, the AI is doing. So, and when I say this, I say very proudly, being a member of Drupal community, that in the recent years, Drupal has the community. Drupal is all of community. It's the community member who have worked. They have worked so hard to develop and to integrate AI in a very minute level into the Drupal. So, I mean, we have the capability in Drupal at this moment wherein you can simply speak and a page would be created. You don't need to type or drag and drop anything. We have a suite that is developed by one of the existing contributor wherein you can just say that I want this page in blue color, and your entire page's CSS or every design would be changed in blue color. So that is the level of integration that we have done with AI. Automation, automating the things, automating the workflows, automating the test cases, automating the email marketing or anything such. Those are very basic things that is done in, I believe, all alternate platform at this moment in today's time. But Drupal has come one step ahead of that. It has given you flexibility that you don't need any developer assistance. You can simply speak, and based on your command, the AI will change the structure of your website. It will generate content for you. It will publish the content for you. It will make the entire workflow for you. So yes, I can say that Drupal and AI together is one of the best tools that any small business organization can have when they are lacking the resources to do those work.
As I have one question, that how business owners would know that Drupal is better than other CMS platforms?
Well, this is a very subjective question there. As a technical solution architect, though I am addicted towards Drupal, I would say, but at this moment sitting here, I cannot tell that Drupal is better than any other CMS platform. Reason being, each CMS platform, let's take an example of WordPress, it has its own capacity, it has its own market value. Drupal, it's still slithering in that entire market. So since Drupal had just started, I would say some 4 months back as a standalone CMS. Before that, Drupal was a core concept wherein it was very tough for you to set up any website without intervention of a developer. So I would say it's very early to compare Drupal with any other CMS platform at this moment. But what I can say as an addicted lover of Drupal is that in next few years, for sure Drupal would be on the top because of its advanced features and because of its architecture that it has been following since its inception.
Okay, all right. Since the Drupal CMS has been launched and there are a lot of changes in Drupal, so how the Dotsquares team is coping with that advancements?
Well, I'm very happy to say that we have a wonderful training plan.
Okay.
We have a wonderful resource, we call it resource enhancement plan technically. It's not only Drupal, any technology, it keeps on upgrading itself. And for that, Dotsquares has a plan. So every month we have a session wherein we discuss not only about Drupal, but whatever technology we work in, WordPress, Drupal or anything. We make sure that the latest update is discussed with the teammates. They are trained to make sure that they adapt that changes, and same happened with Drupal. And one of our best output of that is Drupal launched on 15th of January. And today, I believe it's been 4.5 months. We have already completed 9 projects on Drupal CMS. So that is one of the biggest achievement of Dotsquares, I would say. And it's not just we completed it with a bang, with a wonderful declaration, I would say, to the entire Drupal community. We received shout out from Drupal Association as well for such a wonderful job that we did. So entire team at Dotsquares, they are properly trained on all the upgrades, not only the Drupal CMS upgrades, but any upgrade that come to Drupal. They are trained on those things. They are trained on how efficiently we can use the AI to make sure that the development hours are properly used, and we have also trained them in a way that any solution that they develop keeping in mind that this library might get upgraded in the coming future. So that should not, or upgrading that library should not change any process or any flow. So there is a smart plan that has been drafted by Dotsquares, and we make sure that we adhere and we follow that plan to make sure that each of our resources are trained and they are updated with the recent trends going into the technology.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
Also, I'd like to add there, the entire team at Dotsquares, they are very skilled, they are resourceful, they know what exactly they are doing, and they are futuristic. Whenever we make any solutions, we make sure that the product owner or the business owner for whom we are making that solution, he doesn't get bothered with any upgrade in the near future. We make sure that those things are automatically taken care by our solution itself. And we also make sure that any solution that we deliver, that is optimizable, that is scalable, and the enhancement could be done very easily from any developer around the world.
Fantastic. Now, something that's been buzzing, AEO.
Mm-hmm.
Some are saying it's going to eclipse SEO.
Mm-hmm.
Is Drupal ready for that shift?
I would differ here from the question. AEO and SEO are two different things. AEO is the latest trend because, these days people, they don't want to search for a particular thing and then go onto a website, go onto a page and then check the 10 different listings from there and then compare it. I mean, it's very tedious work for them. They don't want to do that. So in place of that, what they prefer is they simply prefer to ask questions. They ask question to ChatGPT, they ask question to Gemini, they ask question to Grok, and whatever the answer those particular models give them, they prefer trusting them. So AEO is basically to make sure that the answers that is provided for those particular questions, that is optimized. And this term AEO came into existence recently, but from the starting of Drupal has made sure that every tagging, every content enablement, and every content tagging is done in a way that getting the answers and getting the to-the-point answers is easy. So it's not that whether Drupal is ready for this shift, it's that Drupal has always been following that pattern. And 100% Drupal is one of the best in terms of if you want to optimize your content for the AEO thing. And regarding SEO, SEO will always be there. There would be no alternate to SEO because SEO is something that is the backbone of this entire digital media marketing.
For listeners who is not familiar with the term AEO, can you please explain in a smaller terms what AEO is?
Definitely. Let's take a practical example. Let's say Diya goes to a shopping mall, I'd say, and she goes to a shoe store.
Okay.
She loves sneakers. Now she has multiple options over there. She has Converse, she has Nike, she has AD, she has other multiple options.
Okay.
Now there are two ways. One, Diya goes, tries each of those sneakers, which are like maybe tens in numbers, and then picks one out of that. So that is SEO for you.
Yeah.
You walks into the solution, you have the list, you try, you check it, and then you pick one solution. Now, let's say there is a guy or a girl in that store who sees Diya, and by seeing Diya, he says, okay, Diya, so I believe your shoe size is X, and based on the dressing or based on the skin tone that you have, we would prefer this color for you. And in this color, we have these many brands. And seeing you and your budget, the best brand for you is, for example, this. So basically, that is a pointed answer to Diya, which is answer engine optimization, wherein you don't have to, you can ask the specific question and get a direct answer for that, rather than getting a list of answers for that.
Okay.
That is answer engine optimization, to make sure that the end users get exact answer of what is he looking. If he is looking for a red colored Nike shoe, he should just get the answer of red colored Nike shoe, not red Nike, yellow Nike, black Nike, red Converse, black AD. So that is the difference between SEO and AEO.
Okay. Before we wrap up, there's a huge buzz of Drupal 4 all in Dotsquares. Can you please brief the concept?
Well, definitely. So basically, Drupal for all is a concept that was initially drafted by the senior management in Dotsquares, seeing the quality of lead and the class of lead we get. As you previously said, that there is a myth that Drupal is the enterprise-only solutions. Now, Dotsquare has taken up this challenge, and we are creating a solution wherein you can develop your website on Drupal platform without any intervention of any developer by yourself using the no-code concept, and that could be very cheap to get it developed. I mean, we have seen that there are people who wants to take the advancement of Drupal, who wants to use Drupal as their platform, but they don't opt it because of its monthly maintenance or because of its development cost. So in order to tackle that problem, we are developing a platform wherein you can go, you can sign up your account, and you can create your website yourself.
Alright, before we let you go, there's a fun part called rapid fire round. You had to say the first thing that popped up into your head.
Okay.
Ready?
What if nothing pops up into my head? All right, yep, good to go.
Drupal in one word.
I can't say Drupal in one word, but I would say one word for 3 sections in Drupal. So for community, Drupal is obsession. It's obsession for them. For the agencies like Dotsquares, Drupal is a solution. And for the developers or contributors like me, I would say Drupal is addiction.
Hardest part about Drupal.
Again, as I said, as a developer, the hardest part is that once you start developing or deploying in Drupal, you forget all the other technology that is available in the market because you are so addicted towards Drupal. Basically, you start breathing in and breathing out Drupal. So addiction is one of the toughest things of Drupal. The next thing from business point is that still in today's market, Drupal is not so well known. People doesn't know about Drupal. They don't know the capability of Drupal. In fact, in some sections of the world, even they don't know that there is something called Drupal that exists. So yeah, that is one of the toughest part when we get client from such areas of the world and we pitch them Drupal. It's very tough to get them converted because they have their mindset of going with WordPress because that is something they have always heard of, or Wix or Webflow. So yeah, the toughest part is number one, the addiction, that you can't see anything beyond Drupal once you start developing into it. And second, that you are aware of that, you are addicted to that, but the person who is on the other side of the table, they don't know what exactly Drupal is.
No code or pro code?
Well, that entirely depends on the solution that you are developing. Both has its own importance. Pro code is very much necessary, and it's feasible if you are making some large enterprise scale, flexible, customized solution. But if you are creating some simple solutions, or I would say solutions that doesn't require much of a customization, or which is simply plug and play, then I would prefer no code always.
Drupal or WordPress? Who wins the CMS case match?
I think this question itself is debatable. There is no comparison in between Drupal and WordPress because if I'm not wrong, I believe approximately 60% of the market in CMS is captured by WordPress at this moment. Drupal had just started. So it's like you have an exam paper, you give that to a person who is graduate, and you just give that to a person who was just born maybe 9 days ago. So that comparison is not suitable at this moment, I would say. But yeah, if you ask me this question moving down the line after 2 years, I would say that Drupal is best because of its wonderful architecture, because of its option of customizing the things, its scalable enhancement, and because of the way Drupal is developed with love. So yes, for now, no comparison at all.
If Drupal were a food, what it would be?
Look, so basically, whenever I go to Subway, I prefer, customized a gourmet sandwich bar. And I love that because, you can make it your way. You can select your ingredients. You can make it the way you want it. Same is with Drupal. You can select your components. You can make it the way you want. So if Drupal was a food, I would say it would have been a gourmet sandwich bar.
Okay. Final one now. So AI and Drupal friends, foes or frenemies?
I would say chaddi baddi. They can't be separated. So yeah.
It was very good rapid fire round and very informative.
Thank you so much for having me, Diya, and really well drafted questions. I'm quite sure that the questions that you asked and that would really help the person on the other side of the screen who is watching us to understand what exactly Drupal is, what Dotsquares could do in Drupal, and what are our capabilities. And apart from that, it would also help them to understand the love that the entire community has for Drupal itself. So thank you for having me, and cheers.
Thank you for being along and sharing so much information with us.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's a wrap. Huge thanks to Mr. Kamlesh for joining us and sharing so much information about Drupal. As Drupal is not only enterprise tool, it's more expanding, evolving, and for everything.